famous people popping in. I was like, this is insanity. Like, I had Lizzo come into my live once. She's like, hi,
Holy shit.
Kirby. I'm like, what? And I had to, like, so this was at one point when I wasn't showing my face because I was
Uh-huh.
trying to make it, like, just an illusion. Because I want
Sure,
people
yeah.
to think I was, like, doing the character. But I was leaning over, trying to not to, like, show anybody. But I put my finger on the username where you click to see if it was verified or not. And
Yeah.
it was got a check mark. I'm like, oh my God.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Pipeline Podcast, episode 176. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very fun episode today. This is the Muppets episode. I've been teasing it for a couple weeks now as I've been preparing for this episode, a franchise that I've been wanting to cover for quite a long time now. And to help me do so, we have a very, very special guest. We are introducing the one, the only, the amazing, the fantabulous host of Kermit Sings. Joseph is here. Joseph, how are you today? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
It's an absolute honor. Obviously, we were talking a little bit about this inside the like preload of it all, but yeah, like this is an episode I've been wanting to do for a little while now. Muppets is such an iconic franchise. Muppets is such a cultural IP that I think has kind of been at rest for a little while now, which I think is like a theme. Like via watching these movies seem to be a theme where I'm like, oh man, they took a large break in between some of these, these projects that were coming out.
Mm.
But Muppets is back. It just had its Disney Plus special that would hopefully be a revival series for the like Disney Plus Muppet Show. So obviously we'll be talking about that later on today. We're also
Okay.
just gonna be talking about some of the theatrically released Muppet movies from over the years. But yeah, no, like Joseph, I want to just kind of hop into this and um again, there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about just via like Muppet wise, but
Okay.
tell me about you. Tell me about Kermit Sings because
Okay.
you have obviously grown such a community around you. You have created such a cool thing celebrating your fandom. What's the history of Kermit Sings?
Okay. So when I first started, like, discovering the Kermit voice, it was probably when I was like 14 years old.
Okay.
And I actually started out with a little tiny Kermit puppet that I bought on Amazon for 20 bucks. It
Okay.
was this little tiny Kermit puppet. And before TikTok, I was making videos on the Smule karaoke app. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not
Um,
super, but I definitely know that type of app where you can kind of get on and sing with
mhm.
other people and kind of have that
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
So basically, before I thought of the Kermit Sings handle, I used to have it as the Kermit channel because I didn't
Okay.
think of Kermit Sings then. So yeah, so I started out on Smule. I was using that, and I was getting a lot of like people connecting with me on there. At first I would get duets of like kids, I get duets of adults, like I wouldn't just do like just the main Muppet songs. I would do like the variety songs I do on my lives now. But that
Sure.
got very popular for a few years, and I think I got up to almost 10,000 followers maybe on there. Um, and then it kind of died down. And then whenever TikTok was starting to like kick its tires and become a little more popular, I started to post videos on there. And I'm like, and I wasn't like very familiar with the platform at first. I was like struggling trying to find
Mm,
my niche on there, trying to see what worked and what didn't work. Um, and then all of a sudden, like, I think I started duetting like videos of other people
mm.
singing certain songs and everything. I think my first most popular video, I think I'm trying to think of the username. His name was Snubby J. He does these like videos where, like the Blue Man Group,
Yeah, sure.
kind of
Yeah.
like the drums they use or whatever. I think he
Mm,
does the same thing. he did the Muppet Show theme song as one of his
Mm.
videos, and it was instrumental. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could connect something like that. So I sang the Muppet Show theme song to it, and then all of a sudden I started to get followers coming in through that. So that's kind of how like I started getting people, and then I started doing more of that, and then how the lives transpired. I mean, at first my lives weren't very like um they weren't getting as many people, but
Mm.
one day I went live and I started to get like 1,000 at peak. I'm like, holy cow! I'm like, I don't know what to do with these many people on here.
Yeah, no, like that seems like an amount of people that I would be like, okay, what
So
is going on?
so when I started getting popular, I started getting videos of people like screenshotting and screen recording
Mm.
my lives, saying, "Oh my God, Kermit's singing Taylor Swift. Oh my God, Kermit's singing Harry Styles." Like I would get, "Oh, Kermit saved my life." I'm like, "I saved your life," and then I get messages sometimes. They'd be like, "Oh, you were my childhood. Thank you." I'm like, you know what? I like to take that as high praise, but at the same
Mm.
time, I feel like saying, you know, girl, I'm not Kermit, but thank
You're not.
you.
You see that I think a lot on TikTok where
Yeah,
it's like I am taking this kind of host of a character, and I feel like there's
yeah.
been a lot of like there's been the like Mickey Mouses and the Donald Ducks and stuff, but like I feel like and I know you have obviously no official thing with the company obviously, but like
No.
I feel like anyone that kind of puts on that face is a Kermit the Frog or is a Mickey Mouse. Like I feel like I've heard that a lot where it's like there's not like the Kermit. It's like there's these takes on the characters, and
Mm,
everyone can kind of put their own, even if it is something as just kind of like every day as like a TikTok or a Facebook. It's like that does mean something to people. I think especially in the COVID era. I don't know about your like timeline of it all, but I feel like during COVID especially, people latched very hard to these fictional characters and kind of what they mean to people and how it connects. Was this all during like the COVID like lockdown era, or was this kind of before that?
this was after actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
This was a little bit after, and it was starting to calm down a little bit. I My lives started to pick up like 2022. That's
Okay.
when my lives were starting to like get a lot more people coming in, and I started getting like famous people popping in. I was like, this is insanity. Like I had Lizzo come into my live once. She's like, "Hi,
Holy shit.
Kirby." I'm like, "What?" And I had to like, so this was at one point when I wasn't showing my face because I was
Uh-huh.
trying to make it like just an illusion because I want
Sure,
people
yeah.
to think I was like doing the character, but I was leaning over trying to not to like show anybody, but I put my finger on the username where you click to see if it was verified or not, and
Yeah.
it was got a check mark. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
That's insane.
Lizzo. I've had that actor McKenna Grace, who's been in a lot of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
She's popped in before, I believe. Who else? Oh, the other day I posted a cover of X's and O's by Ellie King.
Yeah.
I posted it on Instagram, and I got a comment, and I didn't even recognize the name at first, but then when I saw the check, it said, "Wow, this cover slaps." I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I'm in shock. I get these like different little like people commenting and liking stuff. Um, I've had the guy that does the Phineas and Ferb theme song is mutuals with me too.
Sure.
Because
Holy shit, yeah.
I know somebody that does the voice. Well, he's the he portrays the OG voice of Barney the dinosaur. He's not the actual OG,
Mm,
but he sounds like him, and he works
sure.
for the people that do the Barney merch now. And um, he knows the guy from Bowling for Soup, Jared Reddick, um, and he saw one of my videos from through him. So he's mutuals with me like that too.
Mhm.
So
That's incredible.
I'm finding like connections, and it's insane.
It's so like shocking the power that social media has. Like I've talked about this with a lot of creators on here, and it's like there are
Hmm.
some negatives to the like social media algorithm, but obviously but also the reach it has, and just this idea that anyone could just find your stuff is a crazy concept. Like yeah, like the
Hmm.
fact that Lizzo was probably just up one night and just had the algorithm gave her
Yeah,
your
yeah.
stuff is a crazy thing, but that's
I didn't
awesome,
even
man.
tag her. Like it was just it was a FYP thing,
Yeah,
and she popped in. She said something, and then I haven't heard from her since. It
that's
hasn't.
incredible.
It was so weird. I'm like I was hoping maybe she'd come back. I was hoping she'd follow me maybe, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. Were
So
you so so you said you found the voice around 14.
I
Um
started developing the Kermit voice. Like I started out sounding like, oh,
mhm,
maybe I could do Kermit at 14 years old. And my family and the kids I went to school with heard it too. So I
mhm,
just kept like reiterating it over and over again,
that's
and
cool.
just practicing and practicing. I mean, I look back and I watch the videos that I used to do. I've definitely developed a better Kermit voice now,
Mm,
because it doesn't sound as like crisp as I do it now on my lives.
sure.
Yeah.
Were you a fan before you found out you could do the voice, or did you find out you could do the voice and then you were a fan?
I've been a Muppet fan since I was a little kid. I watched Sesame Street,
Mm,
because Sesame Street's in the Jim Henson
yeah,
universe. They're all connected before
yeah,
Disney ever took over.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I watched Sesame Street, and I did watch the Muppets. I think like one of the first Muppet movies I ever watched that I remember was Muppets Take Manhattan.
Mm,
That was like one of my first like movies I remember seeing.
sure.
So yeah, I was always a Muppets fan.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, no, I have a couple of icebreaker questions. Some of these are Muppet related. Some are, just kind of more casually. Um,
Okay.
but just get kind of the ball rolling. Kind of not on the Muppet side because I do just want to hear about like your favorite things in general. Favorite non-Muppet related movie or TV shows?
Non Muppet related. Okay, so it could be
Anything that's not
not
Muppets.
Muppets. Okay.
Anything that's not a Muppet.
Because I'm gonna say so. I know I'm gonna say something stupid if I didn't clarify that. Um. Okay. Well, I can't say it's my favorite now because they just canceled it. I was gonna say Stranger Things. I did like Stranger
Mm,
Things when it was on.
sure.
Um. I do like it's a show on Netflix. And it's very raunchy. And Jim Henson was raunchy back in the day with some of his content.
He was, yes.
Um, I don't know if you ever heard of Trailer Park Boys.
I've heard. I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's
Yeah.
a Canadian mockumentary on Netflix. It's very vulgar, but it's funny. It's stupid funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but
Hell yeah.
yeah, I like binge watching that all the time. I also liked when it was on Young Sheldon,
Sure. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory prequel. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I never got into the real Big Bang Theory, but the prequel I enjoyed
Sure.
more. So,
That's a show I've watched via only like my TikTok algorithm has shown me like every clip of
mm,
that show, and I
that
feel like I know
happens to
all
me
the
a lot.
characters.
That happens to me. Like I start getting these show clips popping up. Like I start getting stuff like the middle popping up.
Yeah.
I get the middle, and I end up like getting sucked into it, and then I'm like, oh, maybe should I watch it, or maybe I should. I don't know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yes, it's like in that placement where it's like I should watch this. This looks fun, but I've
mhm.
already seen 90% of the shows via just scrolling. It's
I
like,
know,
should
because
we
people
start it?
post everything, and it's like, what's the point of watching it on the television now?
Um, So the Muppet Show just came back. I would like to ask you about your opinions on the
On
return of it. Again, came back. This is the like Seth Rogen led,
hmm
produced, hopefully revival of the show. I know this is something they've been trying to get out, up from the ground
hmm
for a couple years now.
Yep.
Disney Plus has been in a weird place with like Muppets because they're like, okay, we got Muppets now, and then that was canceled, and
They're
then
so it's
Muppet
like
Mayhem canceled.
unbalanced. They robbed Muppets Mayhem, man. They should have gotten
Hmm.
another season with that.
Yeah.
Um, but my opinion on the new Muppet Show, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't confident with Seth Rogen producing it for some reason
Mm,
at first, because it
sure.
just sounded weird. Like,
Mm,
oh, Seth Rogen, he's producing it. And I didn't know he was such a big Muppets fan until I started seeing content that he did, like in the past, because he was, for example, I saw something on Saturday Night Live, and
mhm.
he did a skit. I think it was like the early 2000s, and he was a host, and they did a Muppet skit, and he was Ralph the dog. And I'm like, dang. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe. And then there's been some other stuff too. Um, there was a picture of him and Kermit doing, I don't know, there was a lot of different things that kept popping up. But anyway, they did a pretty dang good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say they mimicked the exact format from the original, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and I was nervous, honestly, when I was watching the beginning, because
Mhm.
I didn't know how they were gonna like start it out. I didn't know if it was gonna be like really modernized, and like
Yeah.
they weren't gonna like do the regular opening, like
Sure.
when Scooter knocks on the door and goes, "Oh, Sabrina Carpenter, yeah, get 15 seconds to curtain, Mrs. Carpenter." And they did it exactly, and then I started getting the chills, and I'm like, okay, so something's good here.
Mm.
It's starting to feel like the original. And then the intro was exactly the way it was. Um, of course, there were different characters because it's a new era, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think that matters. I think it was like the OG theme song, everything. All the skits, all the humor was exactly timed like it used to be.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think they did a really good job with keeping the keeping the classic vibe with it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I, as someone who hasn't had extensive experience with the original
Mm-hmm.
The Muppet Show, I was like really impressed with just like what they were able to do, with the time they had. I think only having that 30 minutes, they
Mm-hmm.
they had a lot in there. There was a lot of bits in there. Everyone had a lot of chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina was that perfect like first guest back, I think.
I was just gonna
Um,
say that Sabrina Carpenter, and she's an actor too. She was on Disney, so
yeah,
she's familiar with that role.
yeah. The like, and it just makes sense. The like Miss Piggy Sabrina combo. It's like, of
That's
course,
a
that's the
great
perfect.
vibe right there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like, to like piggyback off your stuff with Seth, like Seth has become such a powerhouse in the producing landscape. Like he did the new Ninja Turtles movie, came out a couple years ago. He did
hmm
the Mutant Mayhem. He's done Invincible. He's done The Boys. He's doing the studio over on Apple TV. Like I, as an actor himself, I'm like, okay, I can take and leave, Seth Rogen as an actor. But as a producer, like I think he really gets these IPs. He gets these characters.
He
He's a fan at heart, which is very nice.
he kept to the original, and you know what? I give him props. He he did a good job. And then I think with the new Disney CEO, I believe, they're changing the new CEO, and he's a Muppets fan.
Yes, which
So
is a great sign.
I think that's going to help them a lot. And going back to you saying you don't know if they're making episodes yet. I'm not 100%, but I saw there was a post from somebody. They
Mhm.
saying they're writing episodes still.
That's the rumor currently is that
I don't know
they are.
if it's 100%, but that's what I was seeing
It's
on some sources. But I hope it's true.
yeah.
That's all I can
It's
say.
it's not officially confirmed yet, but
Exactly.
with how well it's done, it's still, I think, number one on Disney Plus for what this is week 2 on, going on it. Like,
Yeah, it got over 3.1 million views alone on ABC primetime at 9 o'clock at night,
mhm,
and they're number one in 21 countries on Disney Plus.
mhm.
Like, come on, like that doesn't show you anything.
I think it's just a matter of time. I think,
Yeah.
especially with our new like CEO, he's a big fan. They recently did a marketing post announcing that the like Super Bowl was going to be on Disney Plus next year, and they had like a bunch of Disney characters on like their giant poster. One of those characters were the Muppets, which I have not seen Muppets on a like promotional thing for Disney in a very long time. Like that's an
Hmm.
IP they just haven't used as the, hey, these are the IPs we have, guys. They haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, that's a good sign. It seems like they're at least in the conscious again. I know they're doing the potential like Miss Piggy movie. That's not confirmed yet, but that's kind of like that's been in the talks for a minute now.
I heard
So
about that too. Yeah, Emma
yeah.
Stone could be in it, I think.
Yeah,
So,
Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence are producing it.
yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean they could also be in it as well. That often happens, very
Hmm.
similar to Seth Rogen with this project.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, it's like future's looking bright, like brighter than it has in a
It's about
very long
time.
time. Yeah.
It's about time. They need the recognition, like the Muppets are better than what people think. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people out there, they're like, "Oh, why do you like the Muppets? They're for babies." They ain't for babies. Are you kidding me? You don't understand the whole concept of it if you think it's for kids.
They're definitely like I can get some having that reputation. Like I do think some are more mature than others. But as a kid, like my mom wouldn't let me watch the Muppets because there was so
Really?
much adult humor within it. Like I had to be a bit older until I was allowed to, just because I was in
Well,
a very Christian family and stuff like that.
yeah.
So there was some very adult jokes, especially in some of those earlier movies. So like yeah, I would always say it's a lot more adult than I think people give it credit
Hmm.
for sure.
Do you know what the first Muppet Show pilot was named?
Oh, isn't it like drugs and sex or something like that?
The
Yeah,
Muppet Show Sex and Violence or something
that's
like
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's just yeah.
it was crazy that I you can find it on I think you can find it on YouTube still, or if not, the Internet Archive.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
where I
no, for
find
sure.
that's all that cool Jim Henson stuff you could find.
Okay, I'm gonna speed round you a couple of Muppet related questions here.
All right.
Um, if the show gets picked up, what are some of your dream guests for the show?
I could see Jack Black.
Yeah,
I would love
have him
Jack
come
Black
back.
to be on.
That'd be
Yeah, especially with the 2011 movie when they kidnap
like
him.
that. Oh, that'd be so funny to be like, you kidnapped me back in 2011. How
You
could you,
can
Kermit?
no, they could do like an opening scene, and they still have him in the sack,
He's like, hello, where am I?
and then they open the thing, and they're like, um, "Oh, you're at the Muppet Show again, Jack," or something like that.
They only find him because the show got picked up for more seasons. He's like, guys, I've
Yeah,
been down here this whole time. This is crazy.
exactly. I think that would be really cool.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think who else. I've seen a lot of people say Chapel Roan. I like Chapel Roan. I think she'd be good. Lady Gaga would be really good.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think who else would be a really good guest star. For some reason, I heard Tyler the Creator might be a consideration. Well, that's because Kermit and Tyler the Creator did a duet at one of his
Hmm.
concerts. I think
Okay.
that's I think that's also why he that's connected.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah, like it's such a different age now. Like I was going through the old guest list of like the original show, and I was like, oh man, times have really
It's
changed. Like it's
my
a whole new
favorite.
ballpark.
My favorite was Elton John.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like so many more like new TV shows. There's so many new, new age of like what a celebrity is at this point. And I oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, that's my dog
Oh,
barking.
okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. Um,
That
yeah,
you're
like.
not in the video. Stop.
Uh,
She's outside my door.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But like
sorry.
again, like social media is not now a thing. It's like, okay, do you bring in TikTokers? Do you bring in like YouTubers? You bring in like Red and
Mhm.
Link to host a Muppet show or something? Like you could
Mhm.
do stuff like that now. So it's such a different ballpark of like what you can and can't do. So I think that's definitely
Mhm.
exciting.
Yeah.
Um, okay, this is not Muppets. This is just a side thing. Um, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Uh, one food for the rest of my life. Honestly, this is not really healthy at all, but I really love mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Okay, all right. I feel like in this situation, like I feel like we don't have to worry about like nutrition
No,
value. It's
it's
just
just
like
a favorite food.
it's just the vibe of it for sure. This one's I think this question might be a bit hard, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. If you were forced to
Mhm.
replace Kermit as the host slash mascot of the Muppets, which member of the cast would you replace him with?
Which member of the cast I would replace him with? What do you
Yeah,
mean? Oh,
like which member of the Muppet Show would you have take up the mantle as host of the Muppets? If you had to, in this hypothetical situation, Kermit's gone, he's never coming back. Which one would you trust that mantle with?
oh, I see what you mean. It's like another Muppet.
Yes.
Okay. Um, let me see. Trixie, stop. Um, probably I could. Oh, Sam the Eagle.
Okay, I
I
could see
think.
that.
I honestly, okay, I could. Okay, I can trust him, but I
Okay,
don't think he would have the same energy.
yeah,
Um, I could also see Fozzie Bear.
yeah,
I think he'd be pretty good because I think he's very I think he'd carry it a little bit. I don't know.
yeah. I think it's tough because like you have to have that like iconicness that Kermit has,
Yeah,
but
like
also
Kermit's a
like
leader. He's the leader, and a
yeah.
lot of people are kind of like the followers of the whole group.
Sure, like Miss Piggy is like iconic, but I would not trust her to lead the group, right?
No, because everything would be what she wants.
Sure. I was thinking like maybe like I think Scooter could do a good job if he could like I think he needs a little bit more personality first,
I
but
was
I think
thinking Scooter too, but I didn't think that would be a good pick
yeah,
because he's like,
maybe
oh, he's the manager and he's got the clipboard.
sure, yeah. He would need like a little bit of like a glow up, but I could see it. Maybe Ralph as well, like Ralph the dog. I
Ralph
could
the dog,
maybe
yeah.
see, yeah. Like he's been more so like a side character, I think he'd work for that. Favorite Muppet song?
My favorite Muppet song. Besides the Rainbow Connection, honestly, I like Pictures in My Head.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds good.
Pictures in My Head from 2011 Muppets movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Dream Muppet Project. So I guess with this question, where like my head is at, like you have Treasure Island, you have Christmas Carol, you have like Wizard of Oz. Like, what's a project you would like to see them be cast in, or like a movie, TV show that you'd be like, I would love to see the Muppets take on this story, or this movie or TV show.
You know, it'd be really interesting. Harry Potter.
Yeah, that would be great. Who's Harry?
Yeah,
Is it Kermit? Is Kermit Harry?
I think so. I
Okay.
think because Kermit's got to be the lead for everything because that
Yeah.
seems like what the plot is in almost every Muppet movie.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I'm not even like the biggest fan, but I think Muppet Star Wars would be really funny.
Muppet Star Wars would be good too.
That'd be
Well,
funny.
they did an episode on the Muppet Show back in the day with Muppet Star Wars.
Hmm.
What was his name? Mark Hamill. He guest host.
Yes. Oh yes. That'd
Hmm.
be really funny. And then you have the whole Yoda of it all, where it's like, oh, do you recast someone as Yoda, or do you keep Yoda as the puppet? I think would be really interesting.
I think it would be a funny joke to recast it, but honestly, I think that would be a slap in the face to Frank Oz
That is fair. That's that. Yeah, that's
Frank Oz is the original and Yoda. I mean, he he did all the voices on Sesame Street and Muppets for years, so he's basically
sure.
Grover. Yoda's basically Grover when you think about it.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to be moving on to kind of the main topic of today's episode. So, I am
Okay.
going to here pull up some of the Muppet projects, and I'm going to transfer my
Do you?
screen here. Alrighty, so I have a little bit of a tier ranking here. We're not doing it regular tier ranking style though. We're gonna do it drafting style. So
Okay.
each turn we are going to pick one movie from this list to make what I guess would be the ultimate Muppet movie collection here. And by
Okay.
the end we will say who has the best collection. And then each time we can talk about the movie, what it means to us, our history with it, kind of what our general thoughts on each of these movies are.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you go first. What's your favorite Muppet movie? Out of these eight? And again, these are the like theatrically released Muppet movies. If you need me to like tell you which one of these are, because I know there's small photos here, let me know. But
Okay.
what's kind of what's your general vibe? What's the first one on this list going to be?
The first movie that really pops in my mind, and I watched this probably the most, was Muppets Take Manhattan.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I liked the first scene, like when they sing together again. They're in the college.
Yeah.
That's a really good song.
Very iconic.
Very catchy. It's iconic. And then just the whole plot of it. Find they're trying to find a job on Broadway and everything. Um, and then towards the end of the movie, Kermit realizes like, oh, like you just got to keep going. You just got to believe in yourself. And finally they get their break and everything. And then the whole chapel thing when Kermit and Miss Piggy get married in the scene.
Yes. It has such a bombastic ending. It's such a like, oh my goodness, how far this movie reached. I really love this one too. I think this is definitely in my top 5 of the ones I saw. Out of the main 8 I've seen so far, this one's
Mm-hmm.
really really good. I was kind of taken away with how like serious this one gotten,
Mm-hmm.
especially comparatively to like the first 3. Like the first 2 are like pretty, they're silly little movies. Not that they don't have their serious moments, because they do, but
Mm-hmm.
this one had such a tone that I really respected from it. I love this tone of there's this theme there's this theme of loneliness. There's this theme of what I feel like was a very realistic theme to kind of what a lot of people are dealing with today, where it's like, oh, I maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe we aren't good enough, and
Mm-hmm.
money was piling up, and they had to go their separate ways, and like when everyone goes off without him, and he's stuck there by himself. I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a this is a weirdly sad movie. And yeah, I think they really use its setting to their advantage. I think they have this like atmosphere and this cast of characters that's really fun. I loved everything in the like cafe, the like diner area that
Yeah.
you're in for a good percentage of this movie. I kind of just want to go there. Like that's a place I just want to be like, yeah, I want to go order a bowl of soup from this little diner. Like they do
Es-
a great
es-
job at their environments within said movie. Yeah, for sure.
Especially with Rizzo the rat serving you the soup.
And his whole like family of
This
little
whole
rats that he employed.
Yup.
And such a like a diversified restaurant too, because they got sandwiches, they got soups, they got pizza. I was like, oh my goodness, they're serving quite a few things here. Also the origin of the Muppet Babies. I'm pretty sure this
Yes.
was their first appearance. I was like when they showed up, I was like, my gosh, it's the Muppet Babies. I didn't know they started here. That was really cool.
That was I think there was only it was only twice that they had the actual puppets appear. That was the first time, and then I think in Muppet Family Christmas, if you ever
Okay.
seen that.
That's one I haven't seen yet, but I'm going to have to get to
Yeah.
after having seen the mainline movies.
So it's basically a crossover. It's all three Muppet related shows.
Okay.
The Muppet Show, Sesame Street, and Fraggle Rock are all in the same
Okay.
special. So yeah, it's
That's
it's probably one of the best Christmas specials he did.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. Yeah, no, this one's great. The wedding sequence is also really good in this one. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
the like surprise cameos from like just like
Sesame
the
Street.
Sesame Street in the audience is like, oh my gosh, like like you had the like Big Bird thing in the first movie, but it was like, oh, this is when
Oh
they were
yeah,
still amicable. Yeah.
it's yeah. I thought it was cool how he put like at least one Sesame Street character in most of his movies. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
Muppet Caper was like that too. I think
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, it's cool. It's probably also my favorite like Miss Piggy outing as well. Like Miss Piggy, I feel like I have a little bit of love-hate with Miss Piggy. I like Miss Piggy, obviously, but sometimes she's a lot, and sometimes she's a little overdone in some of these movies, in my opinion. Um, which again, I'm so curious how they're going to manage like her solo outing. I don't even know how that's going to work, but we're going to see. But like I thought her presence in this one, it felt tamer. It felt a little bit more manageable. I felt like she was an actual character in this one
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was a really good choice. Okay, for my first choice, and this is the only one I didn't rewatch this week because it's the only one I've consistently watched over the years, and that's A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
A
Um,
lot of people love that movie. I'm gonna
it
be
is,
honest. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah, go ahead.
I didn't watch that like first thing.
Yeah,
Like
fair.
that was one of the movies I probably watched the least for some reason. I don't know
Mm,
why. I mean, I watched it for the first time a couple years ago. I do like it. I think it's a great
hmm
movie, but it just never got to watching it like at first. I don't know.
I, I mean, I would definitely say it's like, and maybe this is why it's maybe my favorite just a little bit, but like it's definitely like the least Muppety Muppet movie. Like they play this movie very serious. Like if you're coming for the things that you come for with like some of these other outings, it plays it a lot more serious. And I do think it's a lot darker, and it's weirdly enough, I think one of the more dramatic versions of A Christmas Carol, which is crazy that it comes from Muppets. Like you would
Hmm.
think that they would have been a more fun version of the story, a bit more comical. And it's still a comedy, obviously. It's still a silly little movie, but
Hmm.
the way Michael Caine plays like puts his performance he this might be my favorite Michael Caine role. Like he's 150% of his performance into this movie. And he just does a brilliant job, and there's moments that I get really emotional. Like I think it's a very well crafted, well version of this movie. I've heard from people who have read the iconic book where it's like this is one of the most faithful adaptations of A Christmas Carol, which is funny because like Muppets would be the one where I'd be like, yeah, you can do what you want. You don't have to be one for one, and it seems like they kind of were for the most part,
Hmm.
for what they could be for it being a kids movie. Obviously, Christmas Carol has some things you cannot put in like, Muppets or Mickey Mouse or like Looney Tunes versions of these stories because it'd be a little bit too dark for the children to consume. Um, but no, like Christmas Carol is great. I think this is incredible.
I agree. I think it was a great movie when I watched it. It just I didn't. It was one of those movies I didn't see right away when I started
Hmm
watching Muppet movies. Um, I don't
Yeah, I didn't
know.
watch it until a couple years back. Like I again,
Same
I'm
like
a
me. Yeah,
very yeah, I'm a very like newer Muppet guy. Like I watched this one quite a lot. Like this one was on,
the
and I
Muppet
watched
movie.
this one when it first came out, and that was kind of it for me until I watched this a couple years ago.
Muppets Most
Um,
Wanted. The soundtrack on that was good.
yeah, no, we're gonna talk about that. I'm
Yeah,
very excited to.
yeah.
Okay, what is your next pick here? What's your next? Muppet project here?
The very first movie that started it all, the Muppet movie.
The Muppet movie. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on this one?
Thoughts? I think they did a really, they did a good job with like explaining like the whole story. Like Kermit's like out on the swamp. Of course, Rainbow Connection's the first thing you hear.
Yeah.
Um, and then he's like, um, he finds out like, oh, he wants to go to Hollywood, and he ends up meeting all the Muppets and everything, and it's like, okay, like this is like a, what you call it? I lost my train of thought.
You were
um,
good.
no, I know. Um, no, I just think the whole storyline is really good because like it just tells you like how all the Muppets like came together, and like at first he was Kermit just lived in a swamp, and all of a sudden he's getting all these friends, and then they make this whole show. I think that's basically what like how Jim Henson like started when he was starting to do puppets. He started finding people to do different like
Hmm.
voices and everything. So I think that's what had to do with that.
Yeah. I I like this is up there for me as well.
Yeah.
This is also one of my favorite Muppet movies. I was blown away when I saw the year this came out because when I'm watching it, this movie ages really really well. It like this does not feel like a movie that came out in 1979. This movie could come out now. I really think so. Like it the I think there's some of these movies where there's a lot of jokes where maybe doesn't age as well as the others just due to like culture and stuff like that. Where
Mm-hmm.
this one, like, there's not a lot that outside of like maybe the Miss Piggy stuff, a lot of it ages really well. I think the jokes still really work. These characters are I think some of at their most charming in this movie. This it's a very simple presence. We're just like we're we're gathering all the Muppets. We're like finding all these friends for like the first time, and we're going to Hollywood, and it really works for me. It
Mm-hmm.
really really works for me. I think this is one of my favorite soundtracks of the Muppets. Obviously, like Rainbow Connection is like the like anthem for Muppets. I feel like at this point, I also really love. I forget it at the top of my head, but I love the Muppet or the Kermit and Fozzie like road trip song as we start
Moving moving right
moving
along.
along. That's it.
Yep.
Moving right along. Yes, that one. I actually that might still be my favorite Muppet song. I really really mess with that song. I think it's a
I get asked to do that all the time. It's like stuck in my head. So I can do. I also try to do a Fozzie voice sometimes on my lives.
Mm,
It's not as good as Kermit, but I try to do like alternate.
that's incredible. But yeah, no, this is. I think the only part of this movie where like I don't mess with it as much is like the villain stuff is a little silly to me. The
Oh
like
yeah, when he's chasing at when Doc Hopper's chasing after him, he's threatening Kermit. I'm gonna make him into frog legs. Oh, that's a great that's a great kids movie.
it's a little it is a little contrived sometimes, and like I do sigh a little bit, but also like maybe that's the movie doing their job. Like I think these characters are very likable, especially Kermit and Fozzie, and like the first couple we get within the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like this feels like a movie that they would have made like years after the Muppets got really like I know it was obviously popular before the movie, but like this feels
Mm-hmm.
like it would have been like oh years later being like oh this is the actual origin. So I think the fact this came out in 1979 is so impressive that they had all this lore and like all these characters down patted so well. And
Mm-hmm.
most of these characters don't change too much from this original movie. Like they stay very consistent to who they are, and I think that's probably a testament to Jim and of course all the incredible writers and people that made these characters come to life as they made strong enough characters that they could last all of these years, all these incredible years. And like I think the characters that we see here are basically the same characters we see here, and I think that is a testament. um
Do you know how Jim Henson did the Rainbow Connection scene?
I don't.
Okay,
Tell
so
me.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you. And you could look up the diagram later. Apparently, they put him in a water tank with oxygen.
Really?
Yeah, they put him in a tank underneath the water. With he had oxygen on or whatever. It was like a thing over his face. Um, and he was like underwater for the Rainbow Connection scene to make it look real.
Okay. That's very impressive.
Like
That is
it was like a Houdini act.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's I think this is one of those professions, and there's a lot of these inside the filmmaking world, but it's like on like from a viewer's eye, it's like, oh yeah, this is like being a puppeteer isn't hard, and then you actually see what they have to do. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, they're very talented, and then of course there's way more going into it than you would think. Like you don't just put your hand in a puppet and it's done. Like there's
Hmm.
so much work that goes into this
He
entire journey that I can't even imagine. I
he
really.
did everything possible to make anything look like it was real.
Mhm.
So yeah.
No, that's incredible. That's yeah. Again, like I look at these movies and then I go like, man, these must have taken forever. Like every single shot has to be done perfectly. Like
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into these, which to a point, it's like, okay, maybe that's why we haven't got a Muppet movie in what 12 years, because I know there is so much that goes into these, but I yeah no.
Yeah, a theatrical one. Yeah, they haven't done a theatrical one since Muppets Most Wanted.
Which is crazy to me.
Hmm.
Alrighty, I'm going with my next one. This is my second favorite Muppet movie. I just watched it last night for the first time. Muppets 2011. 2011.
Yes,
The
Muppets 2011.
soft reboot, I guess, of the Muppets. This was the Jason Segel led, produced, I think, Muppets movie.
Yes.
Um, these two movies, like those two last movies, are movies that have been like in my like I've heard these songs 1,000 times. I know the cast, I've seen the scenes, but I never actually sat down and had watched it. And sitting down, I sat down last night and I was really blown away with
Hmm.
this one in particular. And I think it's such a perfect um reintroduction to the Muppet brand. I thought it was such an ingenious way to incorporate the original Muppet Show in the way that they did, how
Hmm.
they were able to bring back these characters so seamlessly, having such a long break in between. What was it, like 1994 to like 2011 or something like that, through In Space to this one. Like I
Hmm.
thought that was such an interesting and baller choice, and I think these characters are at some of their deepest and at some of their more interesting in this one. And I think introducing an audience character via Walter was such a smart move. It was like seeing the Muppet, like literally reintroducing the Muppet via his eyes growing up throughout the years. Brilliant idea, brilliant move. The songs in here are bangers. I think some of the best songs that they ever do in this one. What is it like? What is it like? Beautiful Day, that they start like they start the movie with like
Oh,
Happy Day.
Life
Um,
is a Happy Song.
Life is a Happy Song. That's an unbelievable number. An unbelievable number. Am I a Man or a Muppet is also like
That's a Grammy right there.
it's so good. Like it doesn't have to be that good, but they do such a beautiful song, and almost every song in this movie
Hmm.
just just does such a good job. And like by the end, it has such an emotional ending, and they like really make you care for these characters, and they really want to make them succeed. I think the villain again is kind of a little cheesy again, like, and I guess maybe in general these villains are kind of my only issues throughout these Buffett movies. But again, maybe that's the point. Maybe they're supposed to be a little cheesy and a little silly, but beautiful movie, gorgeous movie.
All right.
What's your thoughts on that one?
Thoughts on that one? Well, when I found out they were making another movie, I was like, "Holy cow! They're making another Muppets movie!"
Yeah.
And it kind of like the same feeling I had when the new Muppet Show just came out. Kind of like
Mm,
just gave me the chills. Like they're making content again,
yeah.
and I I I like the fact that they kind of they didn't like totally copy the original Muppet movie, but they kind of made it in a modern way of because they had Kermit like go find everybody again. Like they went to go find Fozzie at the where was he? He was in Las Vegas. I
Yeah.
think he was at the and he was singing with the Muppets,
The
the
Muppets.
the
Yeah.
anti Muppets, and then um they were finding the other people, the other Muppets and
Yeah.
everything. It had that same Muppet movie vibe, but they kind of like
Yeah.
modernized it. And then my favorite part of it is like Kermit's talking to Ralph on the hammock. And he's like Ralph, you want to get back together? He's like, okay.
It's such a these these movies, and like not all of them, but like for the most part, I love their simple comedy. There are these simple bits that on paper shouldn't work, but
Hmm.
because the performances are so good and how they're timed and how they're placed, and this one especially, and also like that first one does this a lot. Like I love like the little bits of like when like Kermit's like to Fozzie is like, "Do you want to do a show together?" He's like, "No, I work alone." All right, I'm in. Like it's stuff like that
I
that
work
just works
alone,
so
yeah.
well. Or the like, there's a fork in the road. That shouldn't be like what? Like what? That
Just
shouldn't be there.
those little things that no, I got you.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, we are halfway through here. What is your next pick?
My next pick. This is gonna be. This is an underrated movie in my
Okay.
opinion. Muppets from Space.
Okay.
I grew up watching Muppets from Space a lot as well. Um, actually, I still do you use a VHS player still or no?
We have them. We still have some VHS like things, but we don't unfortunately use them still. But I love a good VHS. I love a
Well,
good
I
VHS.
still have my Muppets from
That's cool.
Space from when I
That's
was
so
younger. I don't know, it just gives me that nostalgia when I watch it.
yeah.
But I've actually collected. I have a whole bookshelf full of Jim Henson content, VHS and DVDs.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
but
cool.
the Muppets from Space movie, I like it because I just like the concept that they kind of gave Gonzo a movie where they were trying to explain the origin of where he came from and everything. And I liked
Mhm.
how, and I just thought it was funny how, like, oh, he's getting these messages from his family up in space, and all of a sudden the government gets involved, and they keep seeing messages everywhere. Are you there? Did you watch that one yet?
I did. I
Oh, you
did. Yeah,
did. Oh, okay.
I did. Yeah.
And just a little. I think it was kind of it was kind of cheesier than the other ones, but I don't know. It's I still liked it. I still thought it was like one of my favorite
It's
movies.
fun. Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
This is a movie I think I would have adored as a like. I think if I watched this when I was a kid,
Hmm.
it would have been one of my favorites.
Hmm.
It's very 90s. It is a
Hmm.
very 90s. It's very like Space Jam. Like it gives me that
Yup.
kind of vibe. It's
Hmm.
very like punk rock and very sci-fi. Like it's very fun.
Hmm.
I think it's like technically my least favorite of these, but like I really enjoy
That's
all of these.
okay.
So
I
it's
mean,
like
Muppet. Yeah,
like
Muppets
I
from
don't
Space.
like from
Sorry.
what I've seen, and like I know there's a couple of like the straight DVD ones that may be in that category, but like I think this is a great track record. I think they had a great run,
Hmm.
and yeah, I really enjoyed them. Kind of like this was like another kind of like soft reboot. It felt like they had done a couple of those like more like movie centered ones with like Treasure Island and Christmas Carol,
Hmm.
and this one a couple years prior, and like this was one that like boiled it down like okay, these are cast members, these are the characters themselves, we're focusing on them again. They had like teased the like who is Gonzo all the way back at that first movie, and so being able to pay that off, I thought was really really fun. Um, I love the bits of like I think the first act is my favorite of the whole movie because I just enjoyed the Muppets. Like they all just live in a mansion together and they're hanging out and they're having fun. Like we got the like Muppet sitcom years later, and I'm like, I want to watch that sitcom of like all of the Muppets sharing a house together, going to auditions, and like Miss Piggy being the like news anchor and stuff like that. Yeah, again, I do think it gets a little silly sometimes. Like there's the bits where like they have this like the like technology and like Miss Piggy's like mind controlling people, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is definitely one of the sillier ones. But again, not a bad thing. And then the ending itself, I think it's a very stereotypical, but I loved the like I'm choosing my found family over this, and but like that sequence was so much fun too. Yeah,
I
no, I think this is a great choice.
I loved when they cracked out the celebration performance. That
Yeah, it's fun, very fun. Okay, getting down to the wire a little bit one. I think this is my toughest choice. I'm going Treasure Island.
okay.
I think two of those there. I could have gone either or. I think Treasure Island just slightly beats out Most Wanted for me. Um, Treasure Island, I think very similar to Christmas Story, was kind of a lot darker in some areas than I thought it would be. Like that's a movie where they take it 100% serious. They really pedal to the metal. And I think it's really fun seeing these characters in such a fresh and original environment. It's really cool seeing them in this kind of pirate, like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque adventure. I think these characters are casted very well. I think they give characters like Kermit a bit more to play with or a bit more to work with than his like his normal aesthetic, his normal vibe. I thought was really really cool. A great villain. Like I thought the like evil captain that we kind of deal with throughout this movie was such a like very obvious that he was going to be the twist villain. But like well done as well. Like I think he does work as a villain for me, and he's a very threatening villain. I thought the action set pieces were fun, and the songs were also really really good here. Especially, I don't know who the actor is, but whoever plays the young child in this movie has a fantastic singing voice, and I almost think that's the highlight of the movie is whenever that singular child gets a song. It's like oh my god, yeah, this is really really good.
I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Okay,
I've
yeah,
never really watched Muppet Treasure
okay,
Island,
fair
so
enough.
I can't elaborate much on it. I just know from what everybody says,
Mhm.
it was a really good, like, casted movie, like you
Mhm.
said, and Tim Curry's an amazing actor as well.
Yes, yeah,
And I know he did really good with the role. I mean, I've seen clips of it. I just
yeah.
never seen the full movie. Like I think I may have seen it when I was really young. I just don't remember it.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's
uh,
fair. Again, there's a lot of there's a lot of Muppets content to consume, so you
yeah,
can't have seen everything.
there sure is. Yeah, you're right.
All right, we have final two here. Is there one that stands out to you among Most Wanted and what is it, Caped Caper, which is actually kind of funny. These are the final two because they're kind of similar in like
They're very
plot.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're both about like crime heists and stuff like
yeah.
that.
So I'm gonna. So I grew up with Muppets Most Wanted more, so I'm gonna pick that one.
Alrighty.
Um, yeah, as you said, it's kind of similar to Muppet Caper. I like they casted Ricky Gervais in it. I thought he was a good cast for that, especially as the criminal, with also pairing him up with the evil frog Constantine.
Yeah.
Them being in disguise, stealing the jewel, and then of course Constantine frames Kermit into a Russian gulag and slaps a mole on his face, and all of a sudden everybody thinks he's the evil frog. And then you know, and you know what's really weird? Okay, so Constantine. It's funny how Constantine was played by the guy that does Kermit now.
Yes. Yeah, which is very, which like that's a whole like conversation like in itself.
It's a
I know.
whole yeah. But I'm just in
Yeah,
general, it's like when you think about it, like you could go back to that plot.
yeah. Which like I'm personally a little bit of a defender of like the new voice. Like it's definitely different, right? It's
Yeah,
definitely a new take. But
it,
honestly, I kind of think that's
it
not
took me.
necessarily a bad
Yeah,
thing either, right?
no, it's
I
not.
like I think it's important for like when new people take on voices not to just do an impression of who did it last time and just being like, well, this is my take on that character, my take on what that character can sound like. And I think
Hmm.
once he gets some time to actually play the character, because there have not been a lot of Muppets content since this movie. There's been some shows and stuff, but in general, there hasn't been a lot.
It took me a while to get used to it because I remember one of the first times he started doing the Kermit voice, Matt Vogel, and
Hmm.
it just I of course when you get a new voice you got to get used to it. I mean, there's
Yeah,
been times where a lot of characters get their voice actors switched and you got to get used to it because either their
100%.
voice is lower or they're higher pitch or like so on. But anyway, um honestly I agree what you say where he hasn't been really given like a proper role. I don't
Hmm.
know if that sounds right. Like he hasn't been like I feel like him being the lead in the Muppet Show has given him a lot more
Yeah.
confidence in doing Kermit now.
Hmm.
And I could hear it because
Yeah.
when he was talking, he's especially like in conversation in the Muppet Show with like his lines and everything. I could hear the Jim Henson
Hmm.
in him, the Kermit esque.
Yeah.
So I think he's doing a very good job.
I think a couple seasons into this new show, obviously if it gets picked up, I don't think it's going to be a thing people even talk about anymore. I think it's just going to be like, well, he's Kermit now. Like
Well,
that's what Kermit sounds like, and yeah,
exactly. And I'm getting people telling me, "Oh, you should have been the voice." I'm like,
yeah,
that's flattering, but
yeah,
it no. I'm like,
it- yeah,
you got to get used to it. I mean, it's what it is.
yeah. No, like you don't want someone as talented as you and many people are. Like you don't want someone that's just trying to copy what someone else had done for years. It's
No.
like no, you need someone like you need a new spin on the character. And
It's
yeah,
more to the it's more than a voice though. You got to
yes,
know how to do the whole thing.
yes. Yes,
And
no, for sure.
with his history, Matt Vogel's done more than Kermit. I mean, the guy was Big Bird's understudy for
Mm,
years until Carol Spinney passed away in 2019.
okay.
Now he's doing Big Bird full time on Sesame Street. He does
Okay.
the Count. He does a bunch of other characters on the Muppets. He does like half of the cast.
Yeah.
So I mean, props to him. He
Yeah.
does a lot.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, we just need to just give him a couple more opportunities to play that character. I think he'll be good. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, no, I enjoyed watching Most Wanted a lot more than I thought I was because I remember at the time when it first came out, I wasn't like because this is one I had watched previously. I watched this one what in 2014. Like as a kid, I was like a massive Austin and Ally fan, and I remember watching it just for the Ross Lynch cameo. At the
Oh
time,
yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
very small cameo, by the way. It's like 10 seconds of screen time, if that.
That
Um,
was in the We're Doing the Sequel, right? The We're Doing the Sequel
no,
skit.
I think it's at the towards the end when like they're working
Oh.
for like he's working like at the wedding, and he's like, "Where's your
Oh yeah,
uniform?
yeah.
You should wear your uniform." Um, but no, this is fun. This, I don't think it's no 2011's Muppets. I do think I like that one quite a bit more. But I think
Hmm.
this one is really, really carried by its incredible soundtrack. This has such a good soundtrack. Every song I was just enamored by. It's so much fun. And you know what? Yeah, like I mean, I'll give them something. Like they were doing something very different. They were doing a very heartfelt story here. My heart does break a little bit by the fact that no one recognized Muppet, or that Kermit was gone for half the movie. That does break my heart a little bit, but obviously it's like it's the theme of the movie, and I do think it was interesting to be like, well, we just kind of wanted to think you were gone because he was telling us what we wanted to know, and but that's not
Mhm.
healthy. And like I think that's a great lesson for children to be like, what you want to hear is not always what you should be hearing or what's best for your well interests and all that jazz. And I
Yeah.
love the plot line of Kermit having to like run the show from prison with a bunch of these prison guards. That's such a wholesome plot line. I would have just watched that movie of just like Muppets in prison having to put on a show for like that. I would have just watched that movie. That would have been great. But yeah, no, this one's I think this one's a lot of fun too. I think this is a blast. Um, do you have any final thoughts on that before we move on to our
Oh,
last?
I was also gonna say about the soundtrack. They brought
Yeah,
back
yeah.
the
Go
same
ahead.
guy that did that did the first movie. So
Okay.
I think that's also why it was a really good sound. I think it was honestly, I think it was a better soundtrack than the first sequel movie.
I think as a whole I might agree, just because
Yeah,
every single like I think 2011 has a couple of songs I prefer over it, but I think as a
yeah.
whole every single song in the 2014 movie is just really good, and the like choreography is also really good. Just how they do the dances, how they do these big bombastic numbers, and we're doing a sequel. Is That's up there as one of my favorites as well. I think that's
That's
such
an
a
iconic
brilliant.
song right there.
It's so good. It's such a well done song. Um, so yeah, no, that's really really well done, and I think also very mature. Like I love the sound. Actually, I think it's also one of the better Miss Piggy outings in just terms of like I guess how serious their relationship stuff goes and how they don't really pull the punches. Where it's like,
Mhm.
oh no, this is like their relationship is very flawed, and I think it's important for kids to see what a flawed relationship can look like on screen or on screen, and how you can kind of I won't say get over it, but grow as a couple. I think it's very important to see.
Mhm.
And both are still very toxic, and that's I think a conversation for another day. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, that one was fun. A lot funner than I remember it being. Um, and then yeah, that kind of leaves me with the last one, which is the Great Muppet Caper. So I'll move that into my final spot. This was an interesting one. I think this one, and I'll be curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
This is definitely the one I think it stands out the least to me. Like I think this is the one where I'm like, oh yeah, that one. The first like movie version of this, where it's like they're putting on a movie. Um, I think it's fun. I think there's a lot of great comical beats in here. There's a lot of good bits. I love the bit that everyone thinks Kermit and Fog and
Fozzie.
uh Fozzie, yes, that they look like twins. They look exactly alike. I think that's such a funny bit that they keep on going.
Mhm.
I do definitely think it drags a little bit for me in like the middle section of the movie, but um, still a very fun outing. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on this one?
I was gonna almost say the same exact thing. It's the one movie that kind of just like drags out of my like movie list because I never really watched that either. I saw it a couple of times, but it just never really like stuck with me as one of my favorite movies to watch all the time.
Mm,
I mean, the only two scenes I really remember from that because it's kind of like the Muppet Treasure Island. Like I didn't really
mhm.
watch either that much when I was younger, and I still haven't really now. But I know I'm a bad Muppet fan, guys. Don't don't worry. No, no, but yeah, like that. I like the song, the Happiness Hotel song
Mhm.
when they
Yeah.
sing about how bad the hotel is, but if you want to stay, you can. I think that's when the really old grandfather Muppet. came in like as a
Mm,
character, because later in the Muppet Show they had him as like an opening. Um,
mm-hmm,
but and then of course the cameo, they had Oscar the Grouch on there
mm-hmm.
as a cameo. That's another thing I remember. So those are like the only two I remember that really stand out to me. I know that those aren't really good like pinpoints, but that's
Yeah, they're definitely still trying to find their footing and find their placement and like again like what it came out in what
eight
1989 or one like 1981.
1981. Yep.
So yeah, like I cannot like it's a movie from the 80s, like I can allow them to take a second to find their footing and what kind of movie they want to be in, like what their brand is still. I think is totally fair. But yeah, no, definitely I think one of the like
I
I don't
thought
know.
I totally got that wrong chronologically in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, this is the second movie.
I thought that was the third for some reason.
Yeah, no, it goes the Muppet Movie, Great Muppet Caper, the
Then
Muppet
Manhattan.
Take Manhattan, and then
Okay.
Christmas Carol. Yeah,
Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah.
Well, with both of us saying the movie dragged out, it's probably it made me think it was the third movie. I don't know.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, no, I mean, how do you feel about your lineup here? Are you happy with with the four that you got here, or would you have taken one of mine that I had chosen?
Honestly, I am happy with my list because those are like a lot. Those are the main movies I've like grown up and watched over the years. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy with my list.
I would agree. Yeah, I feel mostly happy with my list. Like yeah, again, like Muppet Caper, I probably would have swapped out on my personal list with like the first one. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think besides that, I feel pretty good. I think Manhattan's also really solid. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, with that being said, that kind of brings us to the end of our show today. As I bring us back, as I switch our screens here. Um, thank you so much for joining me today. This was an absolute pleasure and a half. Absolutely loved doing this episode. Before I let you go, is there anything you would like to shout out, promo, anything you want people to check out that are looking for more content from you?
Well, I could say if you haven't followed me yet on Kermit Sings, um, of course I'm on TikTok, and I'm posting more on YouTube now and Instagram. I'm trying to cross post a lot of stuff on there. I wasn't getting a lot because I wasn't posting a lot on there, but now that I am, and YouTube's actually been picking up a lot more because I have been posting, and the YouTube Shorts are doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I'm trying, and I'm always on TikTok Live. If you guys wanna like come and watch, with Kermit, I have Kermit pretty much sing anything as long as it's appropriate, and as because I get a lot of whacked out song requests. Um, and if it's something I know, and sometimes I'll say, oh, like if you tell me what you want me to learn, I'll try to learn the song. There's songs
Mm-hmm.
that I'll try to learn for people. Um, I'm also on Cameo. I got accepted into Cameo. It's been like that for a couple of years now. It's a little bit slow, but I'm trying to market it better. But yeah, I'm on Cameo as Kermit Sings. I have Kermit do cameos for birthdays, song requests. I get a lot of song requests. Oh, sing this for such and such, and
Audio went out, my friend. I don't know if your audio went out. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
sorry, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Absolutely.
Sorry, that probably
Good.
cut me off. So where did I cut off?
Um, you were talking about how you book Kermit for birthdays and stuff like that on
Oh,
Cameo and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Um, sorry. Okay, so yeah, I have people book for birthdays and song requests, and I th- I just like a nice little way of like sharing Kermit to people that way as well. Um, I'm pretty reasonable with the cameo price. I think I charge like $30. So um,
Nice.
yeah, I don't try to be like I don't try to price gouge people.
Fair.
But
Fair enough. That's
it took me a while to get cameo. Like it took
mhm.
me 3 times for them to accept me.
Okay.
So and as soon as I was over 100,000, they were like, "Okay, we'll accept you now."
No,
I'm
that's
like,
awesome. That's it's cool to see
um,
what you're doing over there. And yes, go check out his stuff. We'll have it linked in the collaboration section
mm-hmm,
of the episode. Again, thank you for being here. It's an absolute honor. We'll be back next week with another episode. We should be we're doing what is next week's episode? We should be wrapping up our Infinity Saga of the MC retrospective series. We're talking about Avengers Endgame, and then Far From Home next week. So that should be fun. And yeah, without further ado, everybody, I will check y'all on the flip side. Bye bye.